In this video, I will walk through the example implemented for ngClass. This section in the page is the output of the ngClass example. There is an input text field to capture the short name. This input field is applied with styles from the component CSS file. This makes the input text field to have some spacing around the text, increased width, and a larger font. This field should allow only a maximum of 4 characters. I am typing John, which has 4 characters. We can see the border of the input text field in green color, indicating that it is within the 4 character limit. If I clear and enter Smith, we can see border of the input text field in red color with a message in the bottom to indicate that it has exceeded the character limit. Let me walk through the code and explain how this works. In HTML template, this is the section that displays this example. It has the horizontal line tag followed by the heading tag, then the input text field for capturing the short name. It has ngClass directive in the attribute, which has one-way binding with validation status property of the component. This property value is initially an empty string, so CSS class is not assigned initially. Next, we have the ngModel directive with two-way binding for short name property, which as well is initially an empty string. Then on the keyup event, validate function is called. Next, we have the placeholder for the input text element. Following the input text field, we have the div tag with interpolation of the property validation message. This will display the error message when short name typed exceeds 4 characters. Let us walk through the code and see what happens when short name is typed in the input text element. Through two-way data binding, the typed short name reflects in the short name property. The keyup event calls the validate function whenever a character is typed. This function checks the length of the typed short name. If it is greater than 4 characters, then the validation message property is set with appropriate message and the validation status property is set to invalid. Once validation message is set, the message gets displayed below the input text element. The validation status property is set in the ngClass, so ngClass looks for a class defined as invalid. In the component CSS file, invalid class defined with a red outline, which gets applied on the input text element, and we were able to see the red outline. If short name is less than or equal to 4, then the else part gets executed, which makes the validation message as empty string and changes the validation status to valid, based on which the valid class is applied for the input text element. The valid class defined in component CSS helps to apply the green color outline on the input text element. The key takeaway is that it is possible to dynamically apply styles to an HTML element using ngClass. To implement this example in your desktop, include these lines in HTML template, include these properties in the component class, include this function in the component class, then include these styles in the component CSS. Then check if it works as demonstrated. In the next video, we will have a summary about whatever we have learned so far in directives.